guys, how are you? This is Loise. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and safe wherever you are. It's nice and beautiful. Actually, today may be the last hot day of this year because we are coming to the end of summer. So we're taking advantage of the sunshine. I hope it's sunny wherever you are and you're taking advantage of that. Okay? All right. Today I have good news because I want to talk about a new policy change that is introduced a pathway to permanent residence for asylum seekers here in Canada. What's better than that? Okay, all right. If you don't know me, I'm an immigration consultant and I'm based here in Calgary, Alberta. I have made endless videos in my channel that can answer a lot of questions that you have with regards to Canadian immigration. So please go there and check them out. If you have a case-specific question that you want to discuss with me, please book a consultation with me. Okay? All right. So let me talk about this. I'm so excited and I've been excited. I've been wanting to make this video for a while. Then I went on vacation and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's good time to do this. So if you're new here, you're welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. If you like this video, if you know someone who can benefit, share it with them. So in August, we're seeing, okay, let me not even say in August, we've been seeing a lot of policy changes because, you know, we have this uncertainty with regards to immigration because of COVID-19. Okay, so we're seeing the government release a lot of policy changes here and there. So we just have to keep up with all of them to see what can, what applies to your case, what can help you, what can't help you. So there is this one that was released in August. So it's helping people who are already in Canada as refugee claimants to apply for permanent residency. And I just want to give you a little background on how that happens. Okay? Because I know I do get a lot of emails from people who say, yes, I want to claim asylum in Canada. Yes, you can claim asylum. If you're facing a persecution somewhere, then you are able to claim asylum in Canada. If you qualify, there's a whole qualification process, but you can claim asylum in Canada. How do you do that? You gotta be in Canada. Yes, you have to find a way to come to Canada, whether you come here as a student, whether you come here as a visitor, whether you come here as a temporary worker. You first have to figure out how to arrive in Canada. And once you're in Canada and you have that genuine valid reason to seek asylum, then you can seek asylum here. So when you do that, you become someone called a refugee claimant who is waiting for their case to be heard. Okay, so when you file a claim, when you file your refugee claim, what happens is that you are eligible to apply for a work permit. And this work permit is actually an open work permit. Yes. So this work permit allows you to work for anybody, anywhere, anytime. It's not restricted to a certain employer. So this helps you, be able to take care of your bills, keep you engaged while you're waiting for your refugee case to be heard. Okay, so that is some background on that. So now you know how that happens, and I've made various videos on claiming asylum. So you may want to go back to my channel and see those videos. Okay, so anyway, in August, the government introduced this temporary measure that is going to provide a pathway to permanent residence for asylum claimants who are working in the healthcare sector during the COVID-19 pandemic. We all know anywhere, so this is not an exception, that frontline workers play a critical role in keeping Canadians healthy. And I will say this, that a lot of people who do work in the healthcare, and they are immigrants, there's a lot of them who are refugee claimants. Okay, yes. So under this measure, asylum claimants from across the country who are working on the front lines, providing direct care to patients in healthcare institutions will be able to apply for permanent residency if they meet the criteria, and we shall see the criteria shortly. Okay, I just want to say that this actually even applies to people in Quebec. We know that Quebec has got its own, immigration program, and I don't practice in Quebec, so I really don't know much about their program, but they have their own immigration program. And what they are doing, they are selecting those qualifying for this special measure who wish to reside in Quebec. So you must be able to, to prove that you wish to live in Quebec for you to be able to apply it through Quebec. Okay? All right. So, as with all the humanitarian and compassionate consideration, and in line with the government's commitment for family reunification, in Canada, family members of the principal applicant will be included in the application, and they are going to be granted permanent residency if the application is approved. That is a good thing. So if you're here and you've claimed refugee and maybe you have your family, then they are all going to, they're all going to qualify for permanent residency with you. Okay? So there are people though who cannot apply under this pathway. Okay, who are those people? So if you are already found ineligible to make an asylum claim, or if you filed and then something else happened and you withdrew your application, or you filed and abandoned your claim, then you're excluded from applying under this pathway. But let's see. Who is qualifying? What is the criteria? So you must be able to meet this criteria. It's a 7-step criteria. The first one is that you must have claimed asylum before March 13, 2020. Yes. So this is not for the people who have claimed asylum after the lockdown. It's for people who claimed asylum prior to that. So you can't just come here and claim and I'll say, oh, you know what? Now I think I can apply to this pathway. No, it won't apply to you. Okay, and then we talked about the work permit. Remember that bit that I told you that once you file for asylum, you are able to get to apply for a work permit. The eligibility number 2 is that you must have been issued a work permit after you filed your claim. Okay, number 3, you must have worked in the health care sector and in healthcare institutions, for example, hospitals, long-term care homes, home care through an organization or an agency, assisted living facilities, all that kind of stuff. You must have worked in the healthcare sector. So make sure, not everybody is going to apply through this, only those people who worked in the healthcare sector. It doesn't matter whether you're employed by an agency. So people in group homes, people in aged care facilities, people in, long-term facilities, all those, they do qualify. But there's another one. Number 4, you must have worked in a designated occupation for no less than 120 hours between March 13 and August 14, 2020. Okay? March 13 and August 13. The designated occupations that are included in this special measure are orderlies, nurses, nurse aides, and patient service associates, assistant orderlies, and certain home support workers. Okay, so make sure that you fall within that category for you to be able to apply in this pathway. Okay, number 5, you must show that you have 6 months work experience in the designated occupation before being granted permanent resident. And applications will have until, applications actually had until August 31st to acquire the experience. Okay, so look back until August 31st and make sure that you can show a 6 months work experience in that designated occupation in the healthcare sector. Okay, so number 6, and this is for the Quebec people, you must have your CSQ certificate. Okay, so that is if you want to reside in Quebec, and I'm avoiding to say what CSQ is because my French sucks, but I would say that it's the Certificate de Selection du Quebec. Okay, so forgive me if I just butchered that French. Okay, yeah. And number 7 is you must meet the existing admissibility requirements, including those related to criminality, security, and health. Okay, so you must be admissible to Canada. That is all about that pathway. But I said I'm a silver lining kind of person. I like to see the good side of things because we already have so many bad things happening. It's not a perfect world, so there's so many bad things happening, but I like to see the good side. And I can tell you, as much as we have that uncertainty that came with COVID-19, there's uncertainty, there's frustration, there's all the bad things we can mention here, there's still a good thing that came out of it. So what my observation is, the people who were found in Canada by this lockdown, those ones, especially as temporary residents, those were the main beneficiaries of this lockdown. So please, if you're in Canada as an international student, as a foreign temporary worker, as a visitor, please take advantage of all these programs and these temporary policies that can help you immigrate here, because majority of the people who are here as temporary workers, students, and visitors, they are people who would like to live here permanently. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that. So for international students, I can tell you, if you're an international student, this is the time now you need to take advantage of your postgraduate work permit and the work experience that you've gained in that, and see whether you meet the eligibility for Canadian Experience class. Also look at the provincial nomination programs in the province where you're staying, because if you don't take advantage of that right now, I don't know how long this COVID shenanigans are gonna last, and if it ends, then you may not have the benefits to take advantage of those programs right now. We've seen the CRS score come so low, especially for the Canadian Experience class, so I would take advantage of that if I were you as an international student in Canada under a postgraduate work permit. Okay, I would also vigorously pursue provincial nomination programs in your province. Okay, right. For visitors, and these are things that could not happen before. So visitors, if you found yourself here and maybe even your visitor visa expired, you can always apply. You can renew it. If you can't renew it, you can apply for a visitor record. And guess what? If you look at all those opportunity options there, and you want to stay here longer, you can look for an employer here. If you get an employer, guess what? You can apply for a work permit without having to leave Canada. That is a big thing and a big deal. Okay, the other thing, if you don't get an employer, guess what? You can actually apply to join school, and because you're in Canada, admission is going to be easier. So apply for school here and you will be able to apply for a study permit. Once you're in Canada, I can tell you that getting a study permit is not going to be hard because you're already in the country. What I have seen personally is that the government is trying so hard to retain those people who are in Canada right now because of these lockdowns, because people can't travel and all that kind of stuff. So please take advantage of this. But I will be making another video this week that gives you more information on the updates, immigration updates, with regards to COVID-19, because believe you me, I have people who are asking, are they going to cancel immigration? Okay, so I will give you my opinion in the next video on whether I think they're going to cancel immigration or even my outlook for the future of Canadian immigration. Okay, so please stay tuned. Until then, take care and thank you for joining me. Bye now.